Hi, and welcome to Monday's Kickoff here on Music Industry City, where we talk for informative tips to help you have a successful career. I'm Peter Schwing, and joining me today is my co-host Aisha Adamo. If there's something you'd like to chime in about, let us hear your thoughts in the comments below. So let's see what's going on for this week. All right. We're going to talk about patience. And after the longest week ever that we just had, I think many of us either learned how to have patience or realized we don't have any patience. So let's get right into this. I'm going to bring it by Aisha. Aisha, how are you doing?
Hello.
How was your weekend?
Amazing. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, I was on the set of a film and we all got the best news ever. And we saw
Mm-hmm.
people dancing in the streets and we're loving it. We're loving it.
Nice, nice. So you're talking to me like when you send me over the weekend, you always send over a topic idea and everything. And I was like, patience. It's like especially, especially during like 2020, I think is the year of testing our patience. Would you say?
I would agree with that 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And patience isn't an easy thing. I don't find it easy. I don't think anyone finds it easy. I don't know. Do
Mm-hmm.
you?
No, no. And it's like they say it's like a muscle. It's like, no, it's not a muscle. It's a muscle that doesn't get used enough to stay like a solid muscle, I think. Maybe that's what it is. Um, because patience is, some people do. I mean, I know people have the patience of a saint, as they say. But it's like how and the other thing is people who are patient. Sometimes people think they're soft or they're just like might be not assertive or something like that because they kind of just soak it in and just like, all right, I'm just going to let things chill and ride for a bit.
But I kind of think that it's the opposite of that. Like people who have patience, they kind of have an inner self knowing or confidence
Hmm.
that allows them to be patient. So I think that underlying thing comes from a kind of confidence or faith. It can be a lot of different things, but there's a rock solid thing underneath that allows them to be
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100% with you on that. But I also think it's also kind of that perspective where you have especially like in the news media sense, this is where everything going on. It's like who can shout the loudest, who can like just get flip out the most is going to be heard. So the people who have patience is because they're confident. They're kind of like kicking back, but they're also getting stepped on by just loudness and the quantity of it. There's no quality in it. It's just the quantity. The quality is in with the people who are being patient.
Absolutely. I mean, clickbait is such a thing, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like if you can get away from that clickbait, that
Uh,
definitely helps the psychology of where you need to be to combat
mm-hmm.
this situation.
So, all right. I know you have a lot to talk about here, so I am going to go let you ride. So take it away.
All right. So, I mean, we've all been celebrating around the world this Biden Harris win. It's truly amazing. Lots of truly amazing events this weekend, including one at Four Seasons Landscaping, which also gave us some laughs. But if you're like most people I know, you spent all of last week leading up to the weekend biting your nails, pacing around your apartment, feverishly expressing your anxieties on social media while waiting for the votes to be counted. And to this I say, yo, patience. Well, patience and also a bit of even keeled logic. I mean, I think I might be one of the few people I know who went to sleep at 2 a.m. on Tuesday night last week, seeing the electoral vote in Nebraska, seeing the trends in different states regarding which votes were being counted first, and was entirely at ease, confident that we'd win Pennsylvania and maybe even Georgia. And then I put my focus more on these equally vital elections coming up in the Senate. These Senate runoffs in Georgia, let's not drop the ball. We're not all the way there yet, people. So just saying that. But, that feeling of confidence, that's not where most people were at all of last week, even though the fabulous James Carville reminded us all to put the razor blades and the Ambien back in the medicine closet when looking at the early numbers. So why were so many of us in doubt all week long, even as those numbers began to shift dramatically with greater and greater clarity? Well, one thing is that I think we all have a certain amount of PTSD from 2016. And this got me to thinking about the kind of PTSD we might have in our artistic careers, an anxiety that obstructs patience and our more rational faculties. I myself sometimes lack this kind of ease when it comes to my creative career. Why is that? Well, in large part, I think it's because I've seen things go the wrong way so many times before. But like a lot of great artists out there, I haven't been the chosen one, anointed by the gatekeepers and the powers that be on many occasions. And it becomes pretty hard to keep the faith and imagine that continued effort will yield change. And so it's easy to engage in stress and anxiety rather than the calm knowingness that I will win the long game. Because gatekeepers, I will win the long game. Just to putting you on notice about that. But anyway, it's not news that like stress and patience are antithetical. But when these things are in action in our lives, we forget that we often choose stress unnecessarily when we could choose instead to be confident in our own course of action and certain that if we keep doing the thing we do in earnest, something's going to shift our way eventually. All we have to do is wait it out and keep at it. And from this place of greater confidence about all that, we can take a logical look at the trends and the numbers and spare ourselves some of the anguish rather than forcing ourselves into a tizzy until the last moment when the vote is being called and someone else says that it's going to be okay. In other words, when some gatekeeper finally gives us a yes. If we're looking at things with a clear head, the validation of a win is actually something that came much earlier on than someone else saying yes. We actually didn't need to white knuckle it until someone finally made the call and gave us validation. We can do that for ourselves a little bit earlier on. So this week, I'm hoping that all my artists out there will take this extended election process that we saw last week as an example of how, with a strong continued effort and an ability to keep the faith in ourselves, we can spare ourselves a lot of undue stress by building up an inner knowingness about where our careers are going and allowing that inner knowingness to inform our sense of patience. So that's what I got.
Right on. Yeah, I really like that, the whole wait it out and keep at it. And, strong continued efforts. And this is it. This is business. This is life. And this is career, whether it's a musical career or a business career. And especially in this day and age of the whole live streaming, people on YouTube or, people, you have Instagram, they're saying you have to be on Instagram, you have to be on Twitter, you have to be on TikTok, you have to be on whatever the platform of the week is. And it takes time to grow from, if you're a fledgling artist, it's going to take time to grow. So people have this like, well, I put music up, why isn't everybody listening to it? Or I started a YouTube channel and I only have 5 followers and I don't have any likes yet. And if you do like a deep dive into a lot of these successful, say like YouTubers or Twitch musicians that are, 25,000 followers, 50,000 followers, they're partnered with Twitch and they have, they do a live stream, it's thousands of people watching, hundreds of people in the chat having conversations. Well, here's the thing. Every single one of them started off with 0 followers.
That's right.
And they were just patient and they went through a lot. They will all tell you it's sometimes traumatic when you get out there and it's like, I'm on my 2nd month and I have 2 people viewing. Those are the people that have 50,000 followers that are saying, I was on my 2nd month and I had 2 viewers.
Yep. Consistency. And keeping the faith through all of that. If you can keep your faith through that time and be patient with it and keep putting it out there, there will be a turnaround. So I fully agree with what you're saying. And it does show up, like you're saying, so much in the social media realm where people are trying to build this following. It takes time, a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, and like what we're doing, I mean, we're on different platforms, and if you're out there everywhere, and it's tough, it's work. But guess what? The successful people who put in the work on a consistent basis are the ones that are preparing themselves for success. Nothing guarantees success, unfortunately, but those are the people that when they say, "How did you get there?" They're like, "Well, I did everything." And I wouldn't sleep, and I gave up some of these things, and made some sacrifices here and there, but I just kept on doing it. I said, I'm going to commit to something. If you're going to make a post, you're going to say, I'm going to do it every Monday or every Wednesday, or I'm going to make a video, or I'm going to write a song. And if you stick to that, and that's the perseverance as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So, as everybody's being patient, what are you being patient about? What are you working on that you're like, I know it's going to come?
Everything. There's seriously everything. A lot of things are very difficult to produce during this time. I have a million projects that I would love to begin, but during COVID, it's a little bit trickier to make things happen. So just keeping the faith that if I keep creating, someone will notice. And also, yeah, I too, with the social media, like putting things out, even when the Instagram algorithm is against you, which it is, it's always against you. Just continuing to muscle through it and keep going forward. That's what it's about.
That's all it is. All right. Thank you so much, Aisha. It's always a pleasure. Good luck with the film and everything, and we'll see you soon. All right. And that's going to be it for today. Thank you all for tuning in. Just a new show update. We have Tuesday Talkies tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, and a new news update show. So that's a new news update show. Try saying that a few times fast. On Wednesdays at 2. So that's going to be more of an update. It's kind of like what's important to us, and we feel should be important to you. And don't forget Freeform every Thursday night at 9 p.m. where you get the opportunity to come on the show and chat with us. You can also check us out at musicindustrycity.com and on your preferred podcast player. Once again, thank you to my co-host Aisha Damo. Have a rockin' week. Peace.